Hi, I'm Christina Rosell. A month ago on our Mother's Day special, we met 4 people who wanted to reconnect with their mothers. Today we turn to fathers. Kim Dennis, our resident psychic, has found that fathers who are distant in the mortal world are anything but after they pass over. Fathers who could not be there for their children here are working overtime on the other side to make up for it. Join us as we meet 4 people who want to reconnect with their fathers. It's a tough thing to lose your father at a young age, but it's even tougher when you don't have any memories. Well, Peter's father definitely comes through and wants to remind him of the good memories they had in England. Tell me your first name.
Peter.
Peter, what have you got for us today?
I have a picture of my father when he was a very young boy. So the picture's probably about 85 years old.
You know what I love about this picture? Is he looks like he doesn't want this picture to be taken. He's like, just take the picture already.
I always felt he looked very lost in it.
Yeah.
Just a lost little boy.
You can see where you got your curly hair from.
Yeah, well, there you go.
All right, and you have something else for us.
Yeah, this is the only other thing I have of my father's. This little panel pin hammer he had, which was for making carpentry and things like this. And somehow, I'm not sure how I inherited it, but I did. Okay. So it's pretty old as well. That's the only other thing I have.
And how long ago did your father pass?
He passed away in 1971.
So it's been a while.
Oh, yes.
A few years.
Yes, it was. I was 12 at the time.
Right, pretty young.
Yeah, it was quite traumatic.
Do you ever feel your dad around, or?
I tried it. The biggest problem I have with my father is that I'm somewhat blanked of that period of my life, so I don't have any strong memories of him at all. The only memory I really have of him is that I was with him when he died. And there was a lot of blame, a lot of guilt. I felt like as a kid I should have done something to
It's very dramatic for a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, and I think that maybe had an impact on why I don't have a lot of memories.
Well, let's go see Kim,
okay.
And hopefully she can reunite with your dad and bring back some of those good memories.
That'd be wonderful.
Okay, let's go see Kim.
All right.
Yep, I had a girl come for a reading. Well, I don't know about the afternoon, but I had a girl who came for a reading once. This was a few years ago, and she walked to my door and she said, I don't know, I just said, you look like you had a rough day. And she says, yeah, I've had better ones. I said, do you want a cup of tea? So I made her a cup of tea. And I said, who's Tony? I said, I've been picking him up all day. And she said, I just came from his funeral. It was her girlfriend's father. Now, it wasn't the same day, but it was within 4 days, you know. Yeah. And I've channeled somebody, I don't remember specifically who it was, but somebody who lost her, she had booked the reading months in advance, and her uncle had passed the day before she actually came for the reading. And he was there. I channeled him. Didn't have a whole lot to say, because he hadn't been gone that long. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Kim?
Kim, Peter.
Hi, Peter. I was picking up that name. So your father's passed over, is that right?
Yes.
Is that right? Has he been gone a really long time?
Yes, 71.
Is that right? It just feels like you haven't seen him in a really long time.
Oh, very long
Just want
time.
you to know that he loves you very much, and that he's always like one step behind you is what he tells me. So this was something of his? Was this?
Yeah,
just feels like you don't have a lot of his things, is what he tells me.
That's
So
it.
this is the only thing?
That's the only thing I
That's
have.
the only thing that you have. Okay.
No.
I don't know if you hang this up on the wall or whatever, but I just feel like it's something that you can look at all the time. Just want you to know, I guess you were a young kid, is that right? When he passed over, were you like 9 or something like that?
I was
or
12.
12. Okay, but just want you to know that some of his last thoughts when he passed over were with you. Was he living somewhere else? Was he overseas or something, or was he born in another country or something like that?
No, he was born in England.
Oh, he was born in England. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Other than Canada.
Another country from here. Yes,
yeah,
it would be
other
another
than
country.
Here, yeah, he was just showing me that he was from somewhere else.
Right.
Just I don't know if he was a carpenter or not. That might be an obvious thing, but I just feel like this was one of a collection of tools that he had.
My mother tells me he was crafty.
Crafty,
He
yeah,
did
that's
those
what he
sort
was
of
just
things.
making, just little tiny finishing nails and stuff.
Yes,
and stuff
yeah,
like that.
kind of thing.
Okay. Just keep saying that he loves you very much and that he's never far away. This is a picture of him, is that
is.
right? Okay. But this isn't the only picture that you have. So
No.
this is obviously when he was a little boy. Do you have a son or a brother?
Do I have a
Yeah.
son? Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. He
And a
just
brother.
talks about watching over your brother and walking very closely with your son. So I don't think your son ever knew. Oh, obviously not. You were 12 when your dad passed over. Okay. Did you go on to university or to college or something like that?
I'm doing that right now.
You're doing that right now? Okay, he's just extremely proud of that, is what he's saying. He said that's a long time coming. What's 2 years? Have you been in this 2 years? Or
That's correct.
2 years? Okay,
Yeah.
so you still have a few more to go.
Yeah.
Feels like there's a job right out of the gate for you when you finish school, is what he says. So, and I feel like you'll have that lined up before you even finish school. You just got some really good marks back, is what he's saying. So I don't know if you
did.
just wrote,
Yeah.
and he says you
did.
surprised. Not him, your dad, but you surprised yourself, is what he's saying.
Very
Okay,
much
so just
so.
make sure when you get your degree that you frame it and hang it on the wall, because your dad says that he's extremely, extremely proud of it. He always knew you were smart. You didn't know, he says, until later on, but it doesn't surprise him one bit. Okay, I got another J or G initial coming through here as well too. I don't know if that's
Joshua's my son.
Joshua's your son.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's wanting to know. Like for me, the big thing is looking for a sense of peace. It was a very traumatic loss when I lost my father. I was with him.
You were with him when it happened, is
yeah.
that right? I just had a sense that he fell down or collapsed or something
It was
like
a heart
that.
attack.
Heart attack, yeah. So it just grabbed his chest and collapsed. So I don't know if you guys were in the street or outside, but he showed me somewhere outside.
Yeah, he was in his bedroom.
He was in his bedroom. Who worked with coal or
He worked for the gas board.
gas board?
yeah.
That's it. Okay, all right. A long time. So it might have been the only job that he had, or
was.
whatever. Did he ever work? I mean, I know it's England, on the boats or anything like that. He wasn't in the Navy or anything, was he?
I believe he was in the Air Force.
Air Force.
But
Okay.
he was an engineer in the Air Force. so I was thinking,
Engineer?
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing him as a little boy, actually. He's handing out newspapers or flyers or something. So I don't know if that was a job he had when he was a young kid. And I see him with a cap on, and he's down by the boat. So I think this is probably a memory of when he was a little boy. Okay. Well, he's going back to your education again. He thinks that's really terrific.
It was a big step for me.
Yeah, it was. But he says that once you made that step, it looks like it rolled really quickly and fell into place, and the classes you wanted were available, and
Yeah.
it just seemed all to fall into place. So he said it was a long time. It was a long time coming.
Absolutely.
Who's his youngest son? Who's his,
His
youngest son? Yeah,
That is me.
that is you. Okay, just making sure. Okay. Well, his thoughts were of you, and obviously because you were with him, I guess, when he had his heart attack and passed over. Okay, was it a narrow house or something? Narrow
they're small
steps
houses.
and narrow steps or something like that. I don't know if that's upstairs, but
Yeah.
that's where he was living. Okay, so your mom's still living, is that right?
Yes, she's
'cause he
88 now.
Is that right? Okay, well, he just talks about watching over her, being close to her.
Oh, okay. We just visited her very shortly
Is
for her
that
age
right?
birthday.
He was just saying talk. So she must be quite chatty. And she's in England, I guess, as well too.
No,
Is that-
she's here.
Oh, is she
now.
here?
Yeah,
Okay.
she came over.
Okay. All right, good. Well, he wants you to have some peace. It was a peaceful passing over for him. He's been reconnected with his family up there, and just wants you to know that he's okay. Okay. Did you know one granddad? Did you know your dad's dad?
No, they'd all passed. My father's father passed away at the same age of when he was 12
Was
when
it-
he lost him.
okay. All
So
right.
there
He's
was a
talking
bit of
about
a-
his dad. Yeah. Okay.
So a bit of an unusual
A bit of an unusual, yeah.
loss there for both of us.
Okay. That's good. Well, your dad's really proud of the dad you've become. Feels like you're a fabulous father. And do you have some
good to know.
talent or something? Some creative talent or something?
I'm a musician.
You're a musician.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you play with other people? 3 others?
I played in bands.
You played in
and
bands?
My
Okay.
son now is playing as well.
Playing. I was
so-
going to say, do you play 3 instruments or something about 3?
Oh, I have done.
Yeah, you've done,
primarily
yeah,
guitar,
okay.
but bass and drums as well.
Bass, yeah, okay, that's what he's saying. He's really proud of that as well, too.
Wow.
Do you still play guitar?
Yes.
Sometimes, okay. Always drawn in when you play your guitar music, always.
Really?
So yeah, every time you do that, especially when you play by yourself, I don't know where you go to sit
Yeah,
off by
it is
yourself.
pretty well by
Yeah,
myself.
by
yeah.
yourself. He says he always comes in and is drawn in by the music. He says you play some old tunes sometimes as well too.
Yeah, a little
Yeah, a
bit of
little
ragtime
bit,
and
yeah.
that kind of
So
thing.
that's not the only reason, but he just says he's always drawn in by that. Okay. So Joshua is playing.
Yeah, Joshua's
is
a
playing.
drummer as well, so he's carrying on
I
the
was going to
family
go like
tradition.
this. So, yeah, so just, have you built him a special room or something like that? Or
it's-
insulated a room or something?
It's actually at his mother's house, so it's well insulated to live separately.
So it's a different house
Yes, it's a different
altogether.
house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So very insulated from where I am.
Does he play football or anything like that?
He loves soccer.
Soccer,
like
of
English
course,
soccer.
football,
yeah.
English football, soccer.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if he plays on a team or not. I think he has at some point.
He did,
But
yes.
your dad says he always never's missed any one of his games.
Oh,
Any one of his
okay.
games.
Dad was a big soccer fan
Big,
too.
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it. Anything else you want to ask your dad? Or you
No,
want
this
to know?
is pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's just so much stuff.
Well, just know that he doesn't miss anything, anything in your life.
I have no real, I think maybe because of the trauma of when I lost him, I have no real memory of him when he was around for those 12 years of my life. So just to get
Do you not
to hear
remember
some of
walking
that
down
stuff.
these cobble roads with him? It feels like he's taking you for something. It looks like an ice cream or a treat or sweets or something of all kinds. So he says, do you remember going to that store with him?
Maybe we were on holiday in Wales once. I've got
Once,
some
yeah.
vague memories.
Yeah, and
of
he's
that.
got, he's trying,
Sometimes
to,
if I'm
he's trying to scratch
prompted.
them up for you. But it looks like you've got candy or sweets or something or ice cream or something.
I did have
in
a
here.
sweet tooth.
Yeah, no, all kids do, yeah. And down by the dock or down by the boardwalk, or it just feels walking along wood and there's sand and stuff. So it's probably down by the
That was our holiday in
That's
Wales.
when you were holiday in Wales. Okay, did you have like a camper or something?
Yeah,
or
we had
like
a little beach
caravan,
hut.
a beach hut. Yeah.
Oh, we had a caravan in Lansing.
And that's
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
He says you do remember. He says you're just not trying.
Yeah.
So he's just said there's lots of really fond memories of the two of you. Do you remember him teaching you to shave? Or in the bathroom shaving or something, your little boy? Just feels like he has. I don't know if you have your dad's. It looks like he's mixing it up in the jar as well too. Okay, it's a memory of when you were a little boy.
Well, we
Okay.
lived in London up until when I was 9, and then for the last 3 years we moved down to Worthing, which is right on the south coast. But he always holidayed us on the
Holidays,
coast,
yeah.
and decided he wanted to move down there to retire.
So I guess he's talking about all the holidays and stuff. Like he says, you do have some memories. He
Just
taught you
needs
how to tie
prompting,
your
I guess.
shoes, and yeah, he is. He taught you how to tie your shoes. So and it feels like with the 3 steps. Where's the 3 cement steps? Is that in front of your house or in front of you? Yeah.
Our house in London had steps.
It had steps,
Yes.
yeah, and he's just, that was the first house when you were a little boy.
Yes,
Yeah,
where I
he
was
used to
born,
sit there and he's
yeah.
trying to teach you how to tie your shoes. So, yeah, he's just on the step there. So he's got lots of wonderful memories.
That's wonderful.
So is there 3 kids? Is that what you have 2
There's
siblings?
3 brothers.
2
yeah.
brothers,
Yeah, I'm the youngest of the 3.
Yeah. He said I'm the easiest too.
Okay.
Maybe
I'll
it's because he
take
didn't
that
have
one.
to get you into his teenage years. Maybe he left that to your mom, but he said you were the easiest as well too.
Oh.
Well, there you go. Thanks very much for coming, your dad.
Thank
Your dad's
you.
very proud of you.
Wow.
He says keep going to school.
I will.
Okay.
That was incredible.
There you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're my pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah.
So, very proud father, yeah. Of him going to school and his oldest son being a doctor and lots of memories of England. Yeah, I guess he's saying it must be tough, to miss your dad and not remember much of your childhood with him. So I think his dad was trying to prompt him, just like he said with the holidays and just little moments that they shared together. I guess that was important to his dad. Teach him how to tie his shoes and stuff like that. So, but I guess primarily the holidays, having a caravan, which is a very British word that came from, I know from watching Coronation Street.
Wow. Shaking.
Yeah, you said that was a lot to take in.
That was overwhelming.
I think what I found interesting in that, there was a few things. The reading didn't focus on trying to bring back memories for you,
Yeah.
but more to validate that he knows what's happening now.
Absolutely, because I've always struggled with that lack of feeling a presence, and to just hear that and to hear so much obvious stuff that he is there and he's watching. And it was a big struggle for me because I didn't feel that I was that capable educationally and could go on to do academic stuff. And it was a 20-year break between when I last did things like that and going back to school now. And it was I was so scared about it, and I finally did it, and I've been doing very well. It was such a surprise to me, just as Kim said, and to hear that Dab's been behind me and being so proud of that, that was just overwhelming.
An interesting point was the instruments.
Oh, absolutely. Because I didn't start playing until after he passed over. In fact, I immersed myself in music, I think, as a way to cope. I just dealt with it by just playing my instruments, and I played in bands. And now to see my own son kind of doing that same thing, and to Dad to be picking up on that too.
Well, it'll be interesting the first time you go back and play your guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to know he's
there. The next one
there.
will be for Dad, that's for sure.
Yeah. And even though Kim did prompt you on a few things that maybe to try to bring back your memory, and Dad said, you know what, you're not trying hard enough. Yeah. But I think what I learned from the reading was that it's not about the memories that you used to have. It's about who you are now and that he's still with you.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
there's just a part that's very shut down from that. And yeah, it feels like there's something like sparks going off inside because... do
you think Kim opened that up?
I do. Yeah, I think it's something I'd like to pursue a little more, for sure. Yeah.
I'm glad you're reunited with your father and that you can work on those memories.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Trudy comes to us to reconnect with her father, who died at a rather young age in a riding accident. She's about to find out that her dad still wears his cowboy boots and cowboy hat. Tell me your first name.
Trudy.
Trudy, you've got some interesting things here for us. Why don't you tell us about what you've got? This is a picture of...
My dad, when he was 16.
Okay. And this to me looks like it belongs to a horse.
Yeah, it's a bridle he picked up in California. Bridle's probably worth about $1,000 right now because of all the braiding and whatnot.
Okay.
He got it when he was down there, when he got a horse down there that Ronald Reagan used to ride, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. So you're obviously hoping your dad's passed away.
Yeah.
Your dad's going to come through. How long ago did he pass?
86.
So it's been a few years.
Yeah.
And do you still live on a ranch? You still have things to do with
We still have
horses?
horses. Yeah, we just board them. We don't, I live in the city now.
Yeah. All right. Well, interesting things. Let's go see what Kim has to say. We'll take this in.
Okay.
Picking up is I've got a younger dad here. That's what it feels like to me. It just feels like he may have been in his 40s, maybe his 50s. I don't know, but he wasn't very old when he passed over. And he may have had an immediate passing as well too, because what I'm getting actually is that there was not a lot of time to say goodbye. There wasn't a lot of time to say goodbye. So I don't know if her father had a heart attack or whatever, but he is sort of clutching his chest as well too. There is another gentleman who's with her too. An older one and a younger one. So he may have lost a brother or something. I'm not really sure, but I think his father's with him as well. So. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
I was going to ask if your dad was RCMP, but he probably wasn't.
No.
So he just rode horses. Is that what he did? You know, I was picking up your dad since yesterday.
Is that right?
Yeah, I had the name Trudy with me, and I didn't realize that it was somebody who was coming today. Just seems like a younger dad who's passed over as well too. It feels like your dad wasn't very old, so I don't know if he was in his 40s or how old he was.
41.
41. Yeah, it just feels like he was a young man when he passed over. I felt like it was an immediate passing as well too. I felt like it was relatively quick. So I don't know if he had a heart attack or what he did. There's also, did he have an injury or something like that? Ah, that's it. Okay, so he hit his head or something or have a head injury. That's what he's showing me. So I don't know if he fell off a horse or what he did. Okay, he's showing me that now, and he's going, silly me. Because he wasn't new at riding horses, but he knew he shouldn't have. He did something wrong that day, so it wasn't a good day to go riding. Or I don't know anything about horses, but it just feels like he had a head trauma, and I don't know if he passed right away. But for him, it feels like it was immediate. He knows how much you miss him, and it feels like you were a young kid when he passed over as well too. I don't know if you were there when it happened, but it feels like you were close by.
Yeah.
So you may have been in the house or something or something like that. Do you have a brother?
Yeah.
As well too. Okay, he's just talking about watching over you and watching over your brother, and I think your mom's living as well too. Is there a third other than your mom? Like, is there 3 kids in your family?
No.
Is it just you and your brother
Yeah.
and your mom? Okay, probably just talking about your mother. Seems like he's been gone a long time. I don't know if it's been 20 years or how long it's been.
Just
but
about, yeah,
is that right?
86,
Is
yeah.
that right? So he's just telling me, I guess it's coming up to the 20-year mark. But just want you to know that he loves you very much, and it just feels like you guys were always close. He says you're always right behind him. Always right behind him. So I don't know if you used to go out and help him with the, I guess he had a ranch. Is that what he, is
Yeah,
that what he
we had horses.
And have horses. And you still ride horses and stuff like that
Yeah.
as well. So is that part of your work? Or part of your work that you do? Or
No, I'm trying to get back into it.
back into
Yeah.
it? Okay. I don't know if it's grooming or I don't know what, training horses or whatever, but he's saying that you should get back into that.
Is that right?
Yeah. Just want you to know how much he loves you. He's got a big D. I keep saying that's Dad. I don't know if his name started with D as well.
No,
too.
but it's
just
Big D. Yeah,
Big
I bought
D.
him a coffee cup one time with a big D on it.
With a
for
big
Dad.
D on it for Dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you use that coffee cup now? Is that something that you
No,
have?
it's at my
Okay.
mom's.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, this is a picture of your dad when
Yeah.
he was young. Is that right? Okay, and this is, I guess, the gear
Bridle,
that he
yeah.
used to use. I mean, I'm sure there's horses that have passed over. It just feels like
yeah.
there's one in particular. Well, two in particular. One's black, one's quite dark, and one was like a rusty brown color. So I don't know if they mean anything in particular to you, but it feels like they've passed over since your dad has crossed over.
Probably his stallion Dean.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Dean. I bet
Dean.
that's the D.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the horse that he has up there with him. Okay. Well, just want you to know that he's okay. Have you been looking at photographs of him or something, or do you
Yeah.
talk to his picture or something like that?
Yeah.
Or is that right? Keep doing that because he says that he hears you all the time. That
When I
he hears
talk
you
to him?
when you talk to him. So keep doing that. It feels like at a photograph as well too. So I don't know if that's two separate thoughts or if this is a photograph that you have in your house or what it is. But it just feels like talking to a picture. Okay. Just talks about being with your mom and being with your brother. Okay.
And I
Does somebody
a
have
ring
to go
here,
look
too.
for him? Does somebody have to go look for him? He was bucked off or something, wasn't that? Or fell off it and went backwards on and
Yeah,
hit his
the
head.
horse flipped back
Flipped
on him.
backwards? Okay, that's what he showed me. And I feels like he was rendered unconscious. I don't know if he was killed right away or not,
No.
but was rendered unconscious. And at some point later on, did they do a surgery or something on his head? Is that right? Seemed they tried to do something for him or relieve some of the pressure.
Yeah.
Is what it felt like to me. But I just saw a big wound or big clot or something
that
like
right?
that. Yeah, on his head. I think you dream about him. I think you have more so when you're a little girl, is what it feels like to me. But he says, do you remember the dreams where he used to come and visit you in your dreams and stuff
Yeah.
like that? Okay, I think he still does it, but maybe not quite as frequent. You're his only daughter. I don't know if you're the baby as well too.
Yeah.
But he's just saying that you're always special to him. He's bringing back a memory of a little girl with blonde hair and big rubber boots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's. I used to go out and help your dad on the farm or whatever. Did you have a tumble or something recently? Did you you weren't hurt, but I just saw a tumble or a fall off a horse, separate from your dad's.
Well, I've fallen off a horse quite a few times.
Quite a few times you do that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's where I've gotten a lot of my main injuries from.
Right, injuries and stuff like that. Do you have a knee injury or something like that, or something?
Ankle.
Ankle. Okay, you may have a surgery on that at some point down
Yeah.
the road. Okay. All right. Well, just want you to know that he's always with you, always with your brother, and always with your mom. Is your brother married?
No.
Or a child or anything like that?
No.
Okay. That is there for him and it's there for you as well too. So I don't know if you're in that spot or not, but he's got 3 grandchildren up there on the other side. So I have a feeling there's going to be 3 young children that are going to come into your family at some time.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
At some point?
At some point, yeah. Okay. Well, it feels like a cowboy up there. I see him with a hat on and his big boots. Do you have his boots? Does somebody have his cowboy boots?
Yeah, we
or
have,
his
and his hat
boots and his
yeah.
hat and all that kind of stuff. Well, I just see him with a rope in his hand. Hey, did he ever used to do rodeo stuff or anything like that? Or
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
he? Yeah, that's what he showed me, roping and rodeoing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, okay. All right. A lot of people at his funeral. I mean, I know it was almost 20 years ago, but I'm seeing buckboards and stuff like that. So I don't know if that plays any role with how he passed over or with his funeral or whatever, but I just saw horses and a buckboard. So,
Yeah, he was roping.
roping,
Yeah.
is that right? Okay. When this happened. Anyways, he died doing what he loved to do. He knows how much you miss him. Just want you to know that he loves you and he's proud of you every day.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there you go. Anything you want to ask your dad?
Yeah, well, I don't know, ask. It's just the fact that I never got to know
Say
him as an
goodbye.
adult.
And you never got to say goodbye as well, too. That was something else that I picked up before you came upstairs, is that because he passed quickly or was in a coma, that there was no time to say goodbye. That he was no time to say goodbye. Okay. I think you guys used to have some nice talks, he said.
Yeah.
When he was out working and stuff like that. So he says, let those memories be the ones that come to the forefront when you think about him. Okay. Just about life and just different things. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, there you go. Thanks very much for coming.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. That was good. He passed immediately. I guess it wasn't a heart attack. I could just see that he fell backwards and hit his head. So he's been gone a long time. So I'm glad that he came through. I hopefully give her some comfort that he's up in heaven still roping cows, I guess. Yeah, I do get a lot of apologies. You know, it's funny from fathers who have passed over. You know, sometimes when I give the apology to the person who's getting a reading, they don't have no idea what this father's talking about. They thought he was a terrific dad in life, but somewhere he felt like he fell short. You know, mothers as well too, but it seems to come from fathers more. And I think it's because they hold back their emotions and their feelings, and they may not always let their kids know just how much they love them and how they're proud of them.
So did you really feel like your dad was there?
Yeah, yeah. I feel he's around a lot, though. Yeah.
And did Kim validate some things to let you know that he really was around you? And you talked about the big D.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. He well, like I say, I feel that he's around me, or I think that he is, or whatever. And so, and the way she was just talking about him, it's what he was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it made you feel like he was kind of around, and he's given you some advice to get back into the horses.
Yeah.
Are you going to do that?
Well, that's what I want to do, yeah. So I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but...
Well, it'll all come together according to your dad, so...
Yeah.
Well, it was a nice memory and a nice visit with your dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing your story.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Scott is here to reconnect with his father, but as often happens here on Antique Psychic, other people come through. We get a surprise appearance from his brother. Tell me your first name.
Scott.
Scott. Obviously, you have a picture of your father. I can tell because you are the spitting image of him.
That's what I've been told.
And is this your father's ring as well?
Yes, it is.
And how long ago did your dad pass?
In 91.
So how old were you?
I was 18.
So that's pretty tough for an 18-year-old child.
Yeah, it was tough. It was not something that I wanted to go through for your 18th. So.
And so you're looking just for your dad to come through, and what are you hoping to get out of your reading?
You know, I've had family. It was a few tough years that I had family pass away then, and just kind of see them and see where they think I am now, and go from there.
Seeing if they're with you and watching you, and so it's not just your dad that may come through. It might be a nice family reunion for you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go see Kim and see what she has to say, okay?
Okay.
They survive death, you know, that their soul does, and that they are okay, and that they are still with them. So even if somebody's been passed over, you know, for a day, and that happened to me. I had a girl come for a reading who booked her reading months in advance, but by the time she came, her uncle had passed the day before, and he was waiting for her at my house, waiting for her to show up. So surviving death just, you know, just means that that their soul survives. I mean, everybody does. But I think a lot of people, when they've lost a loved one, they just want to make sure that they've gone to heaven, that they've gone to the beautiful place that they hear about. And that's what I can do, is reassure them of that. But to me, that's surviving death.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are
Kim.
you? Scott.
Hi. Okay, got your dad. There's also a young male with him as well, too, right out of the gate. So I don't know if you've lost a brother or somebody, but there's a younger male that's with him as well, too.
Lost a brother.
You've lost a brother? Okay, well, they're both right here, is what they want you to know, and just want you to know that they're both together. Your brother looks very much the same age as you, were a little bit younger, so I don't know if he was a young adult when he passed over. If not, he's grown up on the other side, but that's how he is, that's how he's coming through.
He was an older brother.
He was an older brother? Okay, well, just want you to know that the two of them are together. Is this your dad's ring?
Yes.
Is that right? His wedding ring, I guess? No, he's saying it's not his wedding ring. He wore it for something else. I don't know if I'm seeing something. There's an accident or a trauma related passing. I don't know if that was your brother Or is that how he
Yes.
passed over? And your dad was more of an illness-related passing, is that right? Okay, just keep telling me that they're together. They're
Yeah.
together, so I don't know if you were wondering that or not. I know you miss both of them. Your brother wants you to know that he's always close by you. Do you have his room, or did you guys share a room or something like that when you guys were kids? Talking about the bedroom.
Kind of bounced around rooms
Bounced
and fought
around
over
rooms.
rooms. so-
Okay, just talks about sharing a bedroom with you at some point. So he had an accident, did he? Was
Yes.
he injured or something, or I see a big S.
That
So
was a car accident.
car accident. Okay, S is your name, isn't it? You said your name is Scott. Okay, just feels like there wasn't a lot of time to say goodbye to your brother, but your mom's still living, is that right?
Yes.
So he wants you to let mom know that he's okay. You know, I think she worries quite a bit if he's all right, and you know, if he's well protected and who he's up there with. So let mom know that I'm okay. He says that she doesn't sleep very well.
No.
And, you know, and I think she has a lot of sleepless nights. I'm sure it's got to be the worst loss, losing a child. So I know this is primarily supposed to be about your father, but it's your brother who is doing most of the talking. So he says, let mom know that I'm okay. So this is your dad's ring, and that's a picture of your
Yes.
dad. Is that right? Okay. Okay. Well, your brother, was your brother old enough to drive?
Yes.
Was he? Okay,
Yes.
he's talking about where's my car. So I don't know if he had a car or had a vehicle or something like that, but he showed me an older car. So I don't know if that's something that you guys still have, or if that's what he... Oh, he was in a car accident, wasn't he?
Yes.
Okay. Was he with other people?
Yes.
So
in
two
the
other
accident.
people?
Yes.
Two other people who were with him? Okay. Was one a girl?
No.
Two boys?
Two guys.
Is that right? Okay. Do you have a girlfriend?
Um,
Or do you have a sister?
no, I don't have
You
a
have a
sister.
sister? Okay, he's talking about a female that he's close to down here. Now, I don't know if those two boys passed over with him in the car accident or
No.
not. Okay. But he is saying that it was their fault. So I don't know who was driving the car, if it was your brother or not, but just had a sense of going too fast or losing control of the vehicle. Says both. Okay. We'll just want you to know that they're both up there together. Now, I guess your brother's been gone a while, eh? Has your dad been gone a really long time?
Early 90s.
Early 90s? Okay, but just says that he hasn't seen you in a long time. Okay. You started a new job? Or a new career or something like that?
Push my business more, but.
Oh,
same-
is that right? Yeah, well, there's lots of work. It's like new work. I don't know if you've expanded your business or not, or thinking about doing it, but he says you're going to have to. And it just feels, do you offer service of some kind for,
Yeah.
for people or something
I do
like that?
computer
Or
work for
computer
people.
work for people, okay. And I don't know, do you have employees? Because if not, you're going to. So I think you're going to have to decide how busy you want to be. Do you go into people's homes and do this for them and fix
Yes.
their computers and
Yeah.
stuff like that? Feels like you love it. Feels like you absolutely love your job. So give me your card. Anyways, before you leave, it feels like you get rave reviews for the work that you do. All right. Well, I just see you building a separate business or a separate room. I don't know if you have one down in your basement or something like
Yeah,
that.
there's an office. It's a
An
mess.
Okay,
It's an
that's okay.
office.
But he says he's always hanging out with you when you're down there as well too. So I feel like this ring has two meanings. I don't know if it was his wedding ring or not. But, I
No,
always thought
he'd
you got it
lost
for an
his original
anniversary.
wedding ring.
And
And
this
then my
ring-
mom bought him this to replace it.
Place it. Okay, because it felt like a wedding ring, but not really. Okay, so it wasn't the one he used to get married. Okay. Do you wear this?
Yes, I
Do
do.
you? Yeah, he's glad that you
It's
do
the
it.
mark right there.
Oh, that's the mark. Okay. Okay. Well, it looks like it was too soon to lose your dad. You know, he just, I don't know if you were like 19 or 20 years old or something.
I was
like
18.
19. Yeah, but he just wants you to know that he's always close by and always thinks about you. Well, your brother wants you to know that he's okay. I think you think about them both all the time. And just know that two of them are together and they really want your mom to know that they're okay, especially your brother. Is there a baby coming into your family?
Hope not.
Hope
I
not.
got
Who's
two,
married?
so.
You have two?
Yeah.
Okay, then he knows your children. Is there a young one or a baby or something
Yeah,
like that?
they're 1 and
Okay.
3.
1 and 3. Okay, so know that your dad and your brother watch over your kids for you. He's really proud of you. You're a wonderful dad and a good husband. He says you do a great job taking care of your mother as well, too. So I don't know if you phone her all the time or go and visit her or look in on her, but
We're fairly close.
fairly close, he said, yeah. He says you're a good boy. Well, there you go, Scott. Thanks very much. Anything you want to ask your dad? All right.
I think most of it you kind of answered, and
What's all the gardening or digging in dirt and stuff like that? Are you doing landscaping or something like that? Do you have a new
we're
house?
just doing a bunch of stuff around the house,
Around the house?
changing everything.
Changing everything? Okay, I think he was watching you do that. Somebody's recovering from illness too in your family. I don't know who's been sick, who hasn't been feeling well, but there's a sense of recovery around somebody. How's your mom been doing?
Doing fairly well.
Doing
She's
fairly
had
well.
some like minor things.
Flus or something like that? I
Yeah.
don't know what it is, but just a sense of he's
It
been
might
helping
be
you
my
get it.
accident, but I'm not too sure.
Oh, is that right?
I was in a pretty bad accident a few years back.
Car accident? Is that?
Yep.
Did you hit something?
No, I was hit by a semi.
Oh, you were hit by a semi. Okay. No more deaths. It feels like that's it for a while. But anyways, know that your dad and your brother are together up there. Okay. Is there an R name?
That's my brother.
Is that your brother? Is that Ray or Robert?
Richard.
Or is it Richard? Yeah. Okay. Are you the youngest brother? Is he's older, right?
I'm the youngest.
He's
yeah.
saying sorry for all the noogies and the wedgies and the all that kind of stuff and the wrestling and the fighting, but he says they're good memories that he had with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys go to the same school?
For a little bit,
going
sometimes
to schools
overlapping.
together. Yeah, he's kind of apologizing. I don't know if he wasn't the greatest big brother sometimes or what, but okay, Richard or Rick?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick. Okay. Well, there you go, sweetie.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
very much.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Noogies and wedgies? You want me to say that? Well, it just feels like he was the older brother, so he probably used to wrestle with his younger brother all the time, and probably being the youngest of the three boys, he probably took the brunt of it. He wanted to bring a smile to his face, but just, yeah. His brother was the stronger one out of the two. Younger brother showed up. It was with his dad, but his brother did most of the talking. I'm sure there's a lot of grief around losing him because he was a young kid, and really wanted to get to his mother, I think, and let her know that he was okay. She cries over him all the time.
So we expected your father to come through for you.
Yeah.
Your brother, were you expecting that?
Yes. I thought if I get something, I'd get my brother too.
Yeah. And that, does it give you a sense of peace? At least you know they're together and they are watching over you.
It feels good. It feels nice to have that kind of recognition, and that they know what's going on in my life, and you know how I feel about them, and how I miss them.
Your dad says you're a good kid, and that's nice. He's proud that you're with your mom.
Yeah.
I'm sure that means a lot to him as well, too. So, and just that he's with you. I mean, he's watched your business and watched you grow a little bit, and he's hanging out with you.
Well, it's something you always kind of feel. You know, you don't know what to believe, but you always kind of feel it, and sometimes stronger. You get certain feelings, and you feel right beside you, and it kind of affirms that sometimes too, because what Kim has mentioned.
So, yeah, are you a stronger believer now that your dad's always with you and your brother is always with you as well?
Yes, very much.
And he said, let mom know that he's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom will cry over that one.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's a good tears that he's okay.
Yeah.
And that they're in a safe place and they're together and they're with you. It's a nice affirmation, too, that your dad said that he's with your kids.
My kids say they see them, so.
Well, and Kim has often told us that children see things like that all the time.
Yeah.
And to know that it's real.
They'll come into the room sometimes and tell me that Grandpa Sylvester's there, so.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you very
Just
much.
before we go, you said Sylvester. Kim said she saw a big S. That must have been him.
Yes.
With that name. Anyways, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Pat brings us a pay stub from her father who worked on the Avro Arrow. And the first thing that Kim picks up is small airplanes. Tell me your first name.
Pat.
Pat, what have you got here? This is, I find, quite fascinating. Why don't you tell us about this?
This is an old pay envelope of my father's when he worked at Avro Aircraft in the 40s and 50s. And I've just always had it.
It's always fascinating, too, to find out how much they made. He
I
worked
know.
40 hours for the week,
Yeah.
$93.20, and a net pay of $83.
$83.18 after taxes.
For the week.
For the week, I
My
know.
goodness.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and you have a medal as well from your father.
I do. This actually didn't belong to my father. It's my father's family. And I'm not sure, my dad's just always had it and gave it to me many years ago before he passed away. And unfortunately, I don't know that much about my father's side of the family. Regrettably, I wish I did. And so I'm not sure whose medal this is. I don't think it's my grandfather's, because his name did not begin with a G. So it could be an uncle's of my
Okay.
dad's. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's
How-
from First World War.
How long ago did your father pass?
2003.
So not that long ago,
No.
a couple years ago.
Yes.
Okay, well, some interesting things here, and maybe hopefully find some answers. Let's bring these into Kim.
Okay.
And see what she has to say.
Alrighty.
You know, definite father connection here, a father who's passed over, but I also feel like he's speaking about a mother as well, too. So I'm thinking that the person who's coming in, her mother is still alive. There's a woman here connecting with her mother. So either she's lost a sister or her grandmother. There might be two of them, but there's a woman here from her mother's side of the family as well, too. There's a military connection for somebody. I don't know if it's his dad or not. But I'm also getting uniform regiment and stuff like that. So he could have been a police officer or he was in the military. But hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good, good. Hi, Kim.
And I'm Pat. Yes.
So your dad's passed over, is that
Yes,
right? Okay,
yes.
well, picking him up, no problem. There's also a military connection I was picking up as well, too. So I don't know if you brought medals. You did bring a medal.
From First
medal
World War.
with what, First World War, is that
Yes.
right? So I feel like this may have, obviously not your dad. He wasn't that old, but I think it may have belonged to an uncle of his. I feel like his father's brother is kind of the feeling that does the name Jacob or Jack or anything mean anything to you?
Jack, possibly a
Is that-
John.
John, is that
Yeah,
right? Okay,
yeah.
I don't know if that was an uncle or something who's passed over. I don't know if that's a connection with the medal or not, but that was the name that came through with it. Was your
Okay.
dad in the Air Force? Was your dad in the Air Force?
No,
Is that right? Did
no,
he
he
fly
was-
planes or something like that?
He worked for
Because-
Avro Aero on the.
Oh, is that right?
aircraft,
So he
yeah.
worked on the aircraft. Is that right? I could see it, and they look like smaller planes for some reason. So I don't know if they were warplanes or little planes because they don't look like
Yeah.
the big passenger planes or
No,
anything.
no.
Okay, and it may have been before the time of passenger planes. I'm not really sure, but your dad wants you to know that he's here, and just wants you to know that he loves you very much, and that just want you to know that he's always close by. You think about him often, I'm sure you do, and it's because he's always around. Really close to your mom. Your mom's living, is that right?
Yes.
Real pull towards your mother.
Yes.
So I don't know if your mother is with you here or what the situation is, but want your mom to know that he loves her very much and that he's always watching her. Your mom's doing pretty good. Your
Yeah,
mom's pretty good for age,
she's
yeah.
she's struggled, but she's doing well. With
She's
it,
doing
yeah.
really well, and it just
Yes.
seems that there's still lots of time around her. So was he like a mechanic or something? I hear like the rivet gun. So did he used to put the planes together or something
He worked
like
on
that?
he worked on the plane. He was
On the
an
plane?
electrician.
Electrician?
Yeah.
Okay, but just want you to know that he's here and that he's never far away. So you've got this medal. Your dad had this medal, is that right? Like
Yes,
you
he
found
had
it.
it, yes,
Is this a
through the
Monstar
family.
or something like that?
It's the 1914-15 star.
Is that right? Okay, and is there a British connection with this as well?
I'm
too?
not sure. I don't know my dad's side of the family that well,
okay. I
unfortunately.
just feel like either Scotland, Ireland, or England, but I feel like it had something to do with the UK. I want to say British, like British Army or
Okay.
British Navy or something
Possible.
like that. And I feel like it belonged to his grandfather or his father's brother.
father's
That's
brother.
what it feels like. It
Okay.
feels like to me. It feels like there's a war grave as well too. So I don't know if you're familiar with that or they're just telling me that he was in the war, but.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Okay.
No.
All right. Do you have his pay book or something like that?
Pay stub.
Pay stub. Is
From
that what it
his-
is?
yeah.
Okay, from when he got
From
paid
Avro.
when he got paid from working
From the
at,
envelope.
The envelope. Okay. Was really proud of the work that he did there.
Oh,
I
he
just
loved
feel
it.
like he loved that
did.
job.
He
so I don't know
did.
if he retired from there or not. But he just said that his heart was always back there working at that job. You know, I see a guy. I don't know if this is your dad or if this is his grandfather, but I see somebody with hair parted. Like it's combed apart. You may know if any. It feels like this guy had a bit of a mustache as well too. So I don't know if that's your grandfather. I don't know if you knew what he looked like
No,
or whatever.
I didn't
Very
know
old
my
fashioned. It
grandfather.
feels like he's got a pocket watch as well too, and he's
Okay.
sitting with a vest. So I don't know. I just think he's been reunited with his father up there. Okay.
Okay.
Who's Jack or John? Is that his uncle or something like that?
I believe John was his father's name. He died.
Was his father's name?
Yeah, I never
okay,
knew him.
That's okay. He's got his
Yeah.
father with him and also an uncle as well too. Is there Charlie or Charles?
There was an Uncle Charlie. I
Charlie?
remember that used to come for dinners a lot.
Okay.
Family dinners.
He's passed over. He's
Yes.
poking his nose in here and just saying that he's here as well too. So I think your dad's just saying that he's not alone. Is there anything you want to ask your dad? Is somebody moving or relocating? Is your mom?
No, my son's just moved.
Just moved.
Yeah,
Okay. Just
yeah.
somebody. It wasn't you, but somebody around you.
Yeah.
He's just talking about a move or a relocation.
Okay.
And what's the Eastern connection? Somebody's taking me Eastern Canada. It's kind of
my
my
mom lives in Ontario.
In Ontario,
and my
that's-
dad. All my family's in
Is it
Ontario.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's where your dad has taken me. I don't think he's been gone all that long.
No.
It feels like a lot of the grief is still very real. Yes. So I don't know when he passed over, but I feel like it was probably within the last 2 years. Is kind of what it feels
April
like
2003.
to me. Yeah. Did he see his 80th birthday?
No.
Okay.
No, he didn't. No.
Was he just over 70 or something?
75.
75?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just want you to know that he's okay.
That's great.
And that he loves you very much and that he's always close by. Anything you want to ask him? Anything you want to know? You've seen this man, distinguished man with a mustache and hair parted like it's slicked to his head. So I think that's probably his father if his name was Jack or his name was John.
Just wonder if he's with
The younger boy.
a younger boy?
Yeah, there's a younger boy passed over as well too. So I don't know if you know an adolescent male. It doesn't necessarily have to be family, but that passed over as well too. So I don't know if you lost a cousin or a friend or something like that. But it feels like there's an adolescent that's up there. I'm also getting a K name or a K sound. I don't know if there's Catherine or Kathleen or anything like that, but somebody else who's up there with him as well too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know the
you
family
don't know his
that
family,
well.
is that
No,
right?
and I wish
okay.
I did.
I don't know why that is, but he just wants you
Yeah.
to know that he's been reunited with all the people up there. And
could be his
in
mother.
family. It could very well be, yeah.
Yeah, it could
If you
be
don't
his
know her
mother.
name, I just think that he's got his parents with him up there.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Great.
picture of your dad?
Yes,
Is
it's
that
me.
who,
That's my dad. That's one of the last pictures taken
last
of him.
photographs? Oh, lovely
Yeah.
looking man.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, George, yeah, I had that from the last reading.
George,
George, yeah. Okay.
That's my. Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
that's really lovely. Yeah. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. He misses talking to you too.
Does he?
Yeah, you miss talking
I
with
miss him so much.
Yeah, sitting at the table with him and talking to him and stuff. Yeah, he says he really misses that as well too.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. It's a military connection. So I guess he wasn't in the military, but I thought he was in the Air Force for some reason, but it's because I could see all the small planes. Yeah. He worked for an aircraft company. Oh, my nose is itchy. Mothers stay really close to their children, you know, in life and when they pass over as well, too. More so than fathers, it seems. More so than grasshoppers, too.
Well, we can tell that you felt like you had a good connection with
Yeah,
Dad.
I did.
Did you feel like he was really there?
I did.
I kind of watched you as I sit in the back of the room, and when she started talking about him, I guess you looked like you were kind of looking around like he really was there.
Yes. Yeah.
So it looked like you felt his presence.
I did. And my mom has too. My mom's had that experience, feeling his presence, which I find very comforting. And I think it's really, because it's still, my grief is still pretty fresh. Mm-hmm. And so to know that he's okay.
And he's with lots of family members, so
Yeah.
you
And
just have to find out their names.
I know, and that's one of my regrets, and that's also been one of my dad's regrets, is the family dispersing the way it did and not staying cohesive. And it was a shame, and now, I never really thought about it when I was younger, but now I really want to know more about that side of the family.
Well, I'm glad you
Background
had a
of
nice
this.
reunion with your dad.
Thank you.
And got a few answers that you were looking for.
I did.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes,
I'll give you a hug.
thanks. Thank you.